Hey there, it's Drdreya. Welcome to the 87th episode of Drdreya, Cybergal for Jesus, Words of Encouragement or WOE, and the continuation of my Kingdom of God Basic Training and Practice series. The objective of this 87th video is to delve further into KOG BTP category number 2, temperament/personality profiles and their implications. Specifically, this KOG BTP episode makes the case that no matter one's temperament and the associated benefits and burdens, pros and cons, positives and not so positive aspects, Kingdom of God citizens are called to be imitators of God as dearly loved children and walk in love as Christ also loved. See Ephesians chapter 5 verses 1 and 2. In 1 John chapter 4 verses 7 through 21, the Apostle John, also known as Saint John the Beloved, John of Patmos, and John the Revelator, who authored the biblical book of Revelation, invites us to know God through love, whereby 1 John 4 verses 7 through 8 declares, "Dear friends, let us love one another, because love is from God, and everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. And the one who does not love does not know God, because God is love." So, as Kingdom of God citizens, aka Christ followers, we're to know God through His Word and not through world systems. Side note, according to Logos Bible Software's A Pocket Lexicon to the Greek Testament, world refers to what is apart from God, its creator, self-sufficient, consequently running counter to its creator and thus evil in its tendency. For instance, world, aka human systems, focuses on dominance, aka control. However, the Kingdom of God's calculus requires love, which is evidenced by self-sacrificing service. Consider John 3:16. And notice Mark chapter 9 verse 35's proclamation that being first in God's kingdom means being last of all and servant of all. Consequently, the following are practical examples of how people like me with the melancholic temperament practices love, especially in places of darkness. Number 1, being responsive and kind in words and in deeds. This is also what living in the light of eternity looks like, because since we're not promised tomorrow, we're not to assume that we have tomorrow to respond when we can respond today. Number 2, following up and not being so self-absorbed and hyper-focused on my work, thereby oblivious to the larger team's work efforts. Number 3, actively listening to understand and not seeking to impress others, including colleagues and leadership. Number 4, being patient and actively working to bring people together as part of the team, as opposed to operating in silos and in isolation. Number 5, recognizing and acknowledging the work and contributions of others. Additionally, it's important to note that practicing love, especially in places of darkness, results in being children of the light. See Ephesians chapter 5 verse 8. Where we're called to shine as lights in the world, see Philippians chapter 2 verse 15, and the fruit of the light or fruit of the Spirit consists of all goodness, righteousness, and truth, according to Ephesians chapter 5 verse 9. Consider the golden rule: do to others as you would like them do to you. The origin of this rule is actually based on Luke chapter 6 verse 31. And when we read Luke chapter 6 synoptically with Matthew chapter 5, we recognize Jesus is giving his Sermon on the Mount and is clearly speaking to those who Jesus describes as children of the light, whose hearts are flooded with light, see Ephesians chapter 1 verse 18, and whose Father in heaven is perfect, see Matthew chapter 5 verse 45 subpart A and verse 48. Hence, the golden rule is really only achievable by those who are sincerely devoted and submitted to God. This is because the golden rule, just like the semi-newly introduced platinum rule, which instructs persons to treat others the way you want to be treated, can only be followed with God's divine assistance in a posture of selflessness, not human nature's default of selfishness. Therefore, the key point of this KOG BTP WOE is that no matter how we're wired as Kingdom of God citizens, we must recognize the enemy is not a people, but systems of this world. So, our focus is not on those wired differently from us, but rather to know the enemy as a function of the art of war mentioned in KOG BTP WOE episode 81, which equates to observing and recognizing the enemy's tactics without becoming like or influenced by the enemy, but being imitators of God and practicing love. Until next time, it's Dr. Drdreya encouraging all of us to continue to reflect Jesus even in these cyber streets.